Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, MaryAnne's Mystic Mentions. I'm MaryAnne. Thank you very much for stopping by. I greatly appreciate you being here. Well, we made it. It's April 30th, 2020. So we're on the last day of the month. It's been a historical month and one I will always remember. And so my intention now is to start uploading all the monthly tarot inspirational and guidance messages for each sign, and the sign today will be for Aries. So Aries, Aries, Aries. I love you, Aries. You are an incredibly strong and inspirational sign. I find your fiery, passionate desire to make things happen, to originate, to innovate things, to guide, to lead, to you have an optimism about you. You know, it's a genuine kind of really cool, youthful, naive kind of just, we're going to happen. It's going to happen. We're going to make things happen. And that's what you do. You're a cardinal sign. You initiate, you start. And so May is a month that you're going to recognize that, yes, you have full intentions of moving along with the program, if you will. And there is movement happening. We're hearing it. It is really reality. And yet, on the astrology side of things, I'll just touch base really quickly. We have 4 major planets going into retrograde. And in the past, you know, this happens every year, so it's not anything new. It's just that generally when that happens, I don't remember all 4 happening in the same month. I can always look back. I am an aspiring astrologist. I've always studied the compatibility with signs and relationships for the past 40 years. The other aspects and how planetary influence us is still something I'm learning and researching. But in the past, you know, I don't believe all 4 planets were retrograde in the same month. And that's retrograde in general, and to simplify it, is a time when we need to renew, review, remind ourselves, rest, all the re's, you know, the words that would start with re. And more importantly, it's instead of outside influences really affecting our energies, it's about us going inward at that time, which is always so important anyway. And I believe, before I digress, my point was we've had a fair amount of retrograde action in our lives in the last few weeks, you know, and not because of the planets, just because of what is going on. And so these retrogrades, yes, they will be felt. However, I don't think it's going to be as big of an influence because we're pretty much been used to that occurring. So that's the part I can say that I feel from my guides and my intuition about how the majority of people will be feeling. Now, they're going to be in the planets Pluto, which is already in retrograde through October. I don't remember exact dates. I'll just say Pluto. Venus, that's about our love, our money, the beauty, the things that matter, you know, our heavy, important parts of our life. It'll be in Jupiter, which is the planet of expansion and growth and opportunity, you know, that's going in retrograde. And then Saturn, the structure, the day-to-day, the teacher, the, you know, the restrictive aspect of things. All of those going into retrograde. It's going to be felt, but, you know, it's time to reevaluate and recognize what's important for ourselves more than ever as we move forward. So let's see what the tarot cards have to say for Aries for this month. And I'm going to use, I'm going to use the Gilded Tarot by Sarah Machete, which is just a beautiful deck. And you know, it's interesting because I already did this. I took them out. But that's the way it's been. What in the world did I do with them? Isn't that funny? I am so sorry. You know what? For now, here they are. I was like, what the? Anyway, let me just do a couple more shuffles for you. I like to do it under, excuse me, 4 major categories. The first would be the overall energy. You know, just granted, these are very general, but this can be for the sun, moon, or rising Aries, and also for your benefit, I would say. And for more depth and clarity, I would definitely check out your moon and your rising or ascendant signs too, because there's just a lot more, and sometimes people resonate more with one than the other. I know I certainly have. So check it out. If you have the time, I would greatly appreciate it. And while I'm on the subject, please do like and subscribe to my channel if you like what you're hearing. I am a newer channel. I am not new at tarot. I've been doing tarot readings for 20 years, but I did start this last year. And right now, I do have a personal goal. I try to make goals for myself without being crazy. And I'm wanting to reach 25 subscribers, and I'm at 22. So if you want to kick in and help with me, or help with that, that would be phenomenal. I would greatly appreciate that. So let's see what we can say for the overall energy. In addition to the retrogrades I mentioned and other aspects happening, we have the Nine of Swords. Okay, now see, these are the, and I know there'll be a lot of repeats. The Nine of Swords of the overall energy is really just about the swords being the element of air. Air is always about our intellect, our thoughts, our ability to work through our thoughts, our ideas. It's so much a part of the air quality signs, and they are Libra, Aquarius, and Geminis. So there's been a lot of strife. There's been a lot of contradiction in our thoughts, in the way that people are communicating, in the way that there's just so much contradictory going on that it's caused, I think it's caused a lot of people to feel, you know, stressed and just feel like they need some clarity. There's some clarity that's needed, and that's so much important. That's such an important part for the air signs, to have that clarity, to have that sharpness of the knife, just cutting through things that aren't real, that aren't true, being fair and balanced and direct, you know, and for the betterment of everybody. So the 9 is about letting those things go, because the next, you're already basically through a lot of this. You've been going through these feelings and these thoughts. And so that's the end. The 10 is the next one, which starts the cycle. So just be very aware of maybe thoughts that you're creating on your own that are not making you feel good. Totally guilty of that yesterday. It just happened. I can profess to you till I'm blue in the face. But as a human being, I too work at it daily, and I got overwhelmed yesterday, but I took some time to kind of stop and literally take deep breaths, as I always suggest. People have you can't even imagine how powerful breathing changes things, you know, including the energies in our bodies that are caught in there, just kind of stifling ourselves and not adding to our well-being at all. So yeah, just do your very best to not get caught up in your thoughts that are not making you feel good. And that's going to continue in May. And I don't see it being a problem for you at all, because that's something that you don't want to lose sleep over. You don't want to continually be concerned about things that are out of your control. And that's a beautiful reminder. So then the next category I like to do for the month is going to be your possible blessings or obstacles of the month. Okay, so let's see if we have a pattern going here and what the story will tell us. So that card for you, I'm not getting a shooter, will be Two of Wands. So it's in your element. You are in your element. The wands representing the fire. And that's Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. So you've got ideas. You have your vision still very clear. You know which path you want to go on. You may have a couple of options coming up. You may have a collaboration with a partnership. It could be a marriage, partnership, and so forth. However, this is really pertaining more to the actions you want to do that are going to provide the stability and the ability to create, this security for yourselves, which I think has to do with your work more predominantly than, in a relationship. But that's the next category anyway, so. You have a vision. You have visions. You always have been like that. Like I said, you're initiators. This is strong for you. And May is going to be about that, with the retrograde sitting and absolutely reviewing and deciding what it is you're going to do moving forward, because it's going to be different, but we don't know what that means for all of us. So you feel confident, though. You are a fire. You are confident and you are capable. And I just want to advise you and ask that you continue to go with those thoughts. Not ones that are going to confuse you, but for yourself, your inner thoughts that are going to guide you to the best future that you can set up for yourself. So that is fantastic. And I see the future. If you look, it's pretty gorgeous. It's bright and sunny. And it has great possibilities, infinite. And the next category I love for everybody is love. And all different forms, something that really helps us to create better things and motivate us. And it's heartfelt. So heart is one of the biggest and strongest muscles that we have. But I've always said it has such intellect. It has such intuition. Way more than our mind. When you listen to your heart, sometimes it's hard to decipher whether you should listen to your mind or your heart. This one just flew out for you. But I'm telling you, if you sit and you go with your heart, it's not going to lead you astray. So the next card is under love is the Four of Cups. Well, the cups represent emotion. They are the water signs. They are the Cancer, the Scorpio, and the Pisces of our lives. All about emotion, all about our hearts, all about our love and our passion and desires to create good things, happy things, family, relationships, love. Very much so. And the Four Cups. Sometimes it's like, I've got good things, and I know we all do, and right now it's like, but I feel like I'm missing some stuff, in this category. There's something not quite there, and I don't know, and I don't even know that you would be able to pinpoint what it is. There might be that feeling that something's missing, or it legitimately is missing in May, and I think that makes sense. I think it's pretty literal. I always ask that you and everyone just look to the things that you actually do have in that category, the people who are right there for you, wanting to support you, wanting to love you, wanting to help you. Recognizing it is right in front of us sometimes, And to do your best to focus in on that. So it doesn't necessarily mean that love is going to be accented per se in the month of May for you, Aries, but it doesn't also mean that there isn't love right there around you and supporting you in this very moment and onward. But that's the message that I get for you, is just recognize the love right in front of you. That's the hand coming out in that cup. Make sure you recognize that your cups are full, not half empty, right? It's a mindset. It's a thought pattern that we create for ourselves. That's changeable at any time. And so the bottom card is Sun. Whew, that's a beautiful, fabulous energy. That's the foundation of the month. That's important. I'm glad I saw that for you. That's what's going to keep us going. And the weather's going to be amazing too. It's been amazing. That helps to invigorate us. And the last category is going to be under finances. Also super important. Things have kind of been on hold in that regard. I know they're moving forward, but there's a waiting gestation period. And never lose faith, because it's happening. We just have to believe and be as patient as we can throughout the month of May as it all unfolds. The High Priestess. That's fabulous. I love that. That is the major arcana. And boy, that is just so much about our intuition and our ability to create and align ourselves, as I've said so many times with the law of attraction, to the energies that are going to bring us exactly what it is that we're needing in tangible form. This is the ultimate when it comes to higher power, higher knowledge. I guess I'm understanding that this is going to be extremely powerful in the month of May for you, Aries. That you really tune into that gift that you have. We all have it. Venus in retrograde, you know, that's the powerful love and of self. So when it's in retrograde, it definitely means to take stock and really, really focus on the ability to really understand and accept the intuitive messages that will be coming very, very strongly to us, to Aries. I have an Aries moon, so I'm kind of very much relating and understanding of Aries when it comes to the emotions and how I feel about life and how I respond to life. So I get you, I really do. But this is such a key component to pretty much creating anything, is when we're aware of our capabilities to accept or move forward or in any direction. And that's about the finances. So, you know that they're coming. Just actually, I guess the best way to describe this is just to say, don't be the initiator. Don't be the person that's going to go forward and think you have to be instrumental in making it all happen. Sit and let it come to you. Work on the third eye. Work on the crown chakra to receive, and envision it and intuitively allow it to come to you. Financially, things are getting better. I don't know that it'll all transpire in May, though. I don't believe that to be the case, but certainly by the end of May and going into June. That'll be fantastic. So, gosh, I love this for you. I don't see anything really detrimental at all, except for the thoughts that we might have that won't be to our highest good, or that won't make us feel the best or make us lose sleep. We don't need to do that. We need to stay healthy and strong and firm, and you have that quality so very strongly. So let me just pull two more cards for some guided, a little more guidance. One being the Super Attractor Manifestation card for the month, as I said. That kind of guides us into creating the life we want, keeping that energy strong. And we have, I'm going to see if I can read it without my glasses. That'd be interesting. When I'm grateful for what I have, I can feel good along the way to what I desire. What? Grateful for what I have, leading me to feel good along the way to what I desire, what I can create, what I can bring in, what I can trust is available to me. That's a beautiful guidance. That is a beautiful energy to hold with us through May and onward, right? And then lastly, let's do this Doreen Virtue Healing with the Angels. Just a special sweet message to let you know that you are in fact always watched over and guided. I pull one of these a day and it just makes me feel just more grounded and thankful for any and all support that we receive. For you, it's going to be music. Music. You know, I've gotten this a lot in the last month or so. So all I feel intuitively from this is that you're going to be getting signals through songs that you hear. I mean, you may hear repeated songs on your radio or whatever you use, you know, whatever device you may use. It's going to be coming through music. It'll be a message through repeated songs, or maybe one specific one at a time when you're just not expecting it and you're thinking about somebody and it reminds you of that person, you know, from before. Retrogrades bring back people and circumstances into our lives as well, and all of that. All the retrogrades. Some retrogrades respond to different aspects of our lives, but they tend to always bring back people. So kind of a deja vu with the music. Maybe you're writing music, and if you're a musician, this is a beautiful month to be able to really get into your craft and create. And that's the message from the angels. I'm wishing you a beautiful, hopeful, healthy month of May. And I really appreciate you being here and stopping by. Take incredibly good care of yourself. You matter. Until next time, bye for now.